Hey guys, in today's shave, we're going to be using the Konsul adjustable slant razor on settings 4 through 6, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this razor coming right up after my music. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is John, aka Lathering, bringing you part 3 of our shaves with the Konsul adjustable slant razor. Now, it's been quite the journey with this razor thus far, so if you want to catch parts 1 and 2, I'll be sure to leave the links in the video description below. However, this video will be the most in-depth as we're going to share some specs, go over the packaging, and most importantly, going to give you my final thoughts at the end of the video after we go through a shave with settings 4 through 6. Of course, I want to give a shout out to friend of the channel, Served Up Shaves. Darcy has lent me this razor and I've just had a great time going through it with you guys, the viewers. And this series of shaves just wouldn't have been possible if he hadn't lent me this razor. So thank you so much. So if you enjoy videos about traditional wet shaving, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, consider becoming a subscriber to the channel and don't miss out on any new videos. And also we have some affiliate links, not too many, in the description below. So if you purchase something through one of those links, then I'll get a small portion and all that goes right back into the channel, whether with new products or behind the scene production stuff. And now without further delay, let's go take a look at the packaging of the Konsul as well as share some specs on the razor itself. The Konsul retails at $349 USD and is offered in a number of different finishes. This razor is made in the USA and comes in marine grade stainless steel. The Konsul is blade neutral and the handle features their diamond grip knurling. The razor handle length is 3.5 inches or 87 millimeters and has a weight of 106 grams. Alright, so now that you guys got a look at the packaging and have some more information about the razor itself, let's talk about today's shave. So, as I mentioned already, we're going through with settings 4 through 6. Now for the razor blade itself, I'm going to keep with the Astra SP, which I've used for my previous 2 shaves with this razor. I did consider throwing in a different one, but given that I haven't tried these higher settings yet, I wanted to not tweak around with it too much. The soap and aftershave we're using today is from Ariana and Evans, and that is Baklava in the VR2 base. And here's the soap and the splash. VR2 is the current vegan formula, performs very well. Baklava was made for the A&E soiree / meetup that happened just a few weeks ago in mid-November. The name Baklava is named after a popular dessert that uses honey, pastry dough, and nuts, I think typically like pistachio and almond. But this soap does greatly remind me of pistachio. However, I think it's a little more complex, where pistachio was very straightforward. It had kind of that sugary vanilla almond vibe. Baklava kind of takes it a bit further. Let's just off the tub. It's very strong scent strength. I would say about an 8 out of 10. Pretty typical of Ariana and Evans. I think the main other note I'm getting here is honey, which is a big component of baklava. So if you do like a sweet, desserty, gourmand food type scents, this one's a banger. And lastly, for the brush, I have from aka Brushworks, this is the Never Alone 3 brush that I got earlier this year with a synthetic knot, I believe the AK7 synthetic knot. I thought that the blues, grays, and silver of this complemented the label of baklava very nicely. So that's what we're going with. Lastly, because we're going with the higher settings, I've let this beard grow out. This is about 6 days worth of beard growth. It is quite scruffy. This is kind of the point where I'm like, maybe I should just let it grow out. But you can probably see it's kind of patchy in general. I stay clean shaven. Personal preference and the preference of my wife, more importantly. So let's get that lather built and we'll come back and get to the shave. Alright, so we're lathered up and ready to go. This is just such a dense, creamy lather, and you know, there's a lot of different bases from A&E over the years. All are excellent, but I'd have to say, in the most recent, I might like this VR2 base more than their Ultima base, which I've used a bunch lately. There's just something about the texture, the way it works up. I don't think it's overly thirsty, but it can handle a lot of water. And I just really like the look and the feel of it. So VR2 gets a big thumbs up in my book. More importantly though, let's get back to the razor. And again, Rex Konsul with the Astra SP blade. We're gonna go on setting 4 just to confirm. The red dot is on 4. Yep, it's there. Blade is already loaded. You can catch the previous video about a little more in-depth on how to properly load this razor. Anyway, we're gonna go and we'll adjust as we go along because I do want to cover the rest of the settings today. So let's dive right in. Now settings 1 through 3, I thought were actually very usable, everyday use even, and quite mild, especially the 1. Right away, I mean, you guys saw how much, beard growth there was. The 4 already is just knocking it down. Even on this setting, I think you could go autopilot, and I'm quite impressed. On the mustache area is where I really start to get the blade feel. And the 4, I would say, the 4 is creeping up on moderate blade feel, where 1 through 3 is definitely on the low end of the spectrum. 4 might be my sweet spot though, especially for this many days worth of growth. Yeah, really impressed with the 4 already, given that the first 3 settings were so mild. This is definitely a bump up in efficiency. Let's change things up to the 5 now. We're gonna turn the dial, and the dial is very smooth. The red dot helps you line it up with the number so you know what you're setting on. And there are little pips between the numbers, so you can always do like a 4.5, 5.5, etc. We're just going with the whole numbers. So let's go with the 5 on the other side of the face. Trying to think of how to do the 6. I do want to get some with the grain pass with the 6. This is very stream of consciousness, but I do want to get kind of that the mustache area feel for every setting. All right, the 5 isn't that much more than the 4 as far as blade feel goes. I'm sure we're upping the efficiency too. Let me rinse this once again, and let's finish this pass with the 6. I had a feeling that I might not want to do a 6 against the grain. but also I didn't want to jump in too far since I don't usually go for, high blade feel razors. Yeah, so let's go with the 6. I'm glad to say, after, with that mustache area, the 6 isn't too much in blade feel. This is not overly aggressive. I would say overall the Rex Ambassador, even on the 1 and 2 settings, has a lot higher blade feel. This is still quite nice. I would say, in the spectrum of things, it's probably just on the higher side of moderate, not quite breaking through to the high blade feel threshold, but maybe teetering close on 6, but still very comfortable. Yeah, I'm impressed. And it definitely, with the whiskers kind of on the side of the mustache, it took it down with no problem. Those tend to kind of escape a lot of my razors. I have to go back in for a touch-up, so it did a nice job with that. I'm gonna rinse up my face now, and we'll go with the against the grain pass and see how it goes. All right, so we've lathered up again, and we're going to keep on the 6 for the initial against the grain pass and maybe work our way down. Overall though, 4 through 6, very usable. With against the grain pass too, blade feel is much more noticeable, so we'll finish going on the 6 here, but I think I'll dial it back to the 5 for the left half of my face. I will say it's been fun having you guys along for the ride as I feel things out. And just to show you, we're going to dial it back to the 5 here. Yeah, going against the grain with this, it's giving me a better idea on the blade feel. I would say definitely on the higher side of moderate. Even on the 5. So for those of you who like low blade feel, who like really any of the settings with the Rockwell, other razors we mentioned are like the Overlander, if you like those low blade feel razors, I think you're gonna be at home, never going beyond a 3 or a 4 setting. But that 4 setting overall, on multiple days worth of beard growth, I'm really liking that. But doing settings 5 and 6, going against the grain, really no issue. I think we're gonna do not full third pass, but I'll do a cleanup pass on setting 4. As I was going through the shave with the lather and even applying the aftershave now, I have to mention that the note of honey, in addition to that, the nuttiness, kind of that pistachio, almond kind of feel, really comes out. And honey can kind of come off as floral a bit, which I think in this mix is really nice, but I know floral isn't necessarily for everyone. But if you have an open mind about that and kind of like that, I think fans of honey and those types of scents will know I'm talking about, that floralness, but that's definitely there. And if that's something you're looking for, it's definitely present in the scent. So that's it on Baklava. Now, more importantly, let's go with the final thoughts on the Rex Konsul. Guys, I really enjoy the razor. Right now, after doing the shave on the higher settings, I would say it's minimal irritation. Definitely there's a reputation of some aggressive razors from Rex, especially again the Ambassador, which I think at this point I kind of want to try again since my threshold for blade feel has gone up since the last time I used it. But as far as the Konsul itself, I think it's got a lot of usable settings for those who like a more aggressive feel. Again, it doesn't go all the way into high aggression, but on the higher end of moderate. This is a great razor for those that want to dial up a milder shave, settings 1 to 3, 1 to 4. I think it'll get you there, and it's been a very enjoyable experience. The main con of this razor is the blade loading. The trick there really is, when you disassemble the two-piece razor, is to hold the blade firmly in place, with the top cap as you load in the handle. That way, if you don't hold it in place and you start screwing the handle in, it does have a tendency to spin. That's kind of what I experienced with my first shave. So if you know that the loading isn't necessarily the same as every other safety razor you've used before, then I think you'll be fine. You'll avoid having a bad shave. Some people mentioned in the comments in previous videos that the posts in the top cap could be longer to help hold the blade in place. But I mean, overall, other than that kind of peculiarity with the loading, it's a very nicely constructed razor. The knurling is excellent. I think that's what Rex Supply does really well. And knurling, being able to look attractive too, is great. And also the handle length. This is just right for me. I don't like anything too much longer. Those of you who know the Rockwell T2, I didn't love that razor, and part of it was the long handle. Just wasn't a fan, personal preference. And although I'm borrowing this razor, I think I would seriously consider not having a slant in the collection currently. This would be the one that's at the top of the list. If I feel like I need to check the box and have a slant razor in the collection, especially one that has some adjustability with multiple usable settings, for me at least, then I would recommend this razor. So that kind of sums it up. But if I missed anything, if you have any further questions about my experience with the Konsul, feel free to leave your question or comment in the comments below. If you want to share your experience with this razor, good or bad, I'd love to hear from you as well. So please speak up. But that brings us to the end of the video. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the shave today. I really appreciate your viewership and your support, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Take care now.